He was the most wronged emperor in history. And Luoyang Canal construction. After the Great Wall fuse, Danjin left the killer behind. Great joy! The notoriety of a single soldier. It took only 14 years to quickly break the light and add wild. To smash a good hand. Then this famous tyrant in history. Is it true or slandered? Next video. Let us restore Sui Yangdi Yang together. Broad life. At 588, Yang Guang's father, Emperor Wen of Sui, Yang Jian, in order to achieve unity of the world, appointed 19-year-old Yang Guang as commander-in-chief, led an army of over 500,000 Marines. The southern courtiers who went straight to Jiangnan, under the leadership of Yang Guang, with the army all the way, soon captured Chen Dynasty capital city Health, captured the minister, the master, the minister, and the uncle, destroyed the southern courtiers, then marched with the army. They occupied Sanwu one after another, Lingnan and other regions. Finally completed the unification of the world. Emperor Wen of Sui, in recognition of Yang Guang's contributions, canonized Yang Guang as lieutenant. After Yang Guang went to war again in a few years, the Jiangnan rebellion was quelled, repelled the Turkic invasion, stabilized the country in the Sui dynasty, made a huge contribution. It also won praise and reputation both inside and outside the imperial court. Prestige and fame continued to grow, and above the prince backstroke. Therefore, Yang Guang gradually emerged to replace his brother Yang Yang. The idea of becoming a prince. 600 AD. Yang Guang to Prince Yang Yang. After carrying out a series of conspiracies, finally, Emperor Wen of Sui dynasty issued an edict. Abolished Yang Yang's crown prince. Replaced Yang Guang with prince. So far, 31-year-old Yang Guang has officially become the heir to the throne. At 604, Emperor Wen of Sui was sick and lived in Renshu Palace. So Yang Guang wrote to Yang Ku, let him arrange for Emperor Wen of Sui the world and the poetry of his ascension to the throne. Unexpectedly, this letter fell into the hands of Emperor Wen of Sui. Emperor Wen was very angry when he saw it. At the same time, Emperor Wen's favorite concubine made a noise. Mrs. Chen also came to cry that the son was unreasonable to him. After hearing this, Emperor Wen decided to abolish Yang Guang and re-establish Yang Yang as the prince. Let Uncle Liu and Yuan Yan attack Cao to abolish Yang Guang. The imperial edict to Li Yang Yang as the prince. After Yang Guang learned, decided to strike first. Quickly led the army to arrest Willow and Winding. Then the maids of the palace, the eunuchs and guards were all replaced by their own people. It also prohibits anyone from entering or leaving the Human Hand Palace. Soon after, Emperor Wen of Sui dynasty, Yang Jian, abandoned and died. 64 years old, Yang Guang lied about a trillion self-death in the name of his father. Abandoned Prince Yang Yang. Then, in order to avoid future troubles, Yang Guang to the Sui dynasty imperial family. There was a big purge. Any sibling position that poses a threat to oneself. Eradicate all. Finally, Yang Guang ascended the throne with their blood. Immediately follow the ocean and change the era and name today, meaning oneself. It will create an unprecedented and prosperous era. Yang Guang's top priority after ascending the throne. It is Luoyang, the capital of the east. Chang'an, due to perennial war, the surrounding grain and grass can no longer support normal operation for the first time. We also need to rely on Caoyun in Kanto. Encounter a famine. The court is moving to Luoyang. This dilemma persisted until the Tang dynasty. It's not been solved well, so he spent his seed money east of the royal city of Luoyang Prefecture. Defend the west of Luoyang City. Reselect a feng shui treasure as the new capital. So they evaporate to Million Month. Fuyao descendants only used 10 months. Completed this huge project. The newly built Luoyang city is magnificent, majestic. It is one of Yang Guang's proudest achievements. At the same time, Yang Guang aims to promote cultural and economic exchanges between the north and the south. He ordered the evaporation of the people. Shujin Canal, the canal built by predecessors, all connected to the Grand Canal that runs through the north and south. The Grand Canal is centered in Luoyang, south to Yuhang, Zhuo County, Baidao, Total length 2,700 kilometers. It was the earliest excavation in the world, the largest canal, although it has brought great convenience to future generations. But it brought countless hardships to the people of the Sui dynasty. It's like building Luoyang. The construction period of the Shuda Canal in the Sui dynasty was also very tight. Countless casualties in civilian uniforms. Many people even have to self-harm to escape. Since Emperor Yang Guang of Sui Yang ascended the throne, just achieved something in a short period of time. The ambition of the Knight of the King, and all nations came to career. The grandeur of the wanton bats. Yes, that's him. An important part of achieving this ambitious goal. So Yang Guang started in 606 AD. Qianyang Dian in the imperial palace Crepe Myrtle City many times. Held a grand ceremony to celebrate the nations. Set up a gift for a long time to entertain guests from afar. He also personally composed poems on the protection of the dynasty in the Qianyang Palace on the winter solstice. And the poem says, "To the nations, Shuin sacrificed 200 kings." The words were full of his ambition. At 612, because Gao Gu does not come to the construction of the dynasty, Yang Guang was furious. 1.13 million troops, and surveyed more than 2 million people to ask for a high guli. In Yang Guang's opinion, Gao Guli is just a spare place. How can you defeat an army of 1 million? But you never know. Due to the long front, improper command and dispatch, causing heavy casualties in the army, plus food and grass supplies can't keep up. In the end, they can only withdraw in embarrassment. Yang Guang was unwilling to admit defeat. The following year, he set out again in Gaoguli. I didn't expect the siege to increase. Failed to capture Gaoguli's Liaodong city. The battle on the front lines is still burning. Yang Zhuanggan, who supervised the transportation of military rations in the rear. See the suffering of the people. The world is chaotic. Take the plain. After Yang Guangwen's training, he was forced to withdraw from Liaodong. Soon after, Yang Zhuan felt defeated and killed. But the rebellion of Yang Quan since, the ruling group of the Sui dynasty, it's beginning to show signs of fragmentation. The Sui dynasty of this matter. There is no longer the atmosphere when the emperor was founded. Yang Guang made contributions in pursuit of success. Perennial construction, poor soldiers take over, extreme conquest, plus floods and natural disasters. It's just that the Shizutianggu River has appeared in most areas. The misery of Heigubi Field. The country has come to this point. Doom is a matter of time. But Yang Guang did not put down his footsteps. At 614, Yang Guang decided to conquer Gaoguli for the third time. But Gaoguli is also powerless to fight against the Sui dynasty. Take the initiative to seek peace from the Sui dynasty. But the 3 marches Haidich exhausted the troops of the Sui dynasty. Material and financial resources. Manpower has brought serious disasters to the common people. Frequent uprisings occur in various places. The court was overwhelmed. The favorite subjects around Yang Guang tried to please the emperor, but deliberately whitewashed Taiping. Let Yang Guang feel that these bandits are not enough. At 616, Yang Guang ordered Yuang Yangdong to stay in Luoyang. I led the crowd to cruise in Jiangdu. The following year, the Wagging army led by Li Mi attacked the city all the way, directly approaching Luoyang city, and issued an essay to the military counties. 10 crimes against Yang Guang. At the same time, Tong Gogongli Yuan, at the suggestion of Li Shimin and others, also raised troops in Jinyang. He entered Chang'an in November of the same year, embracing Li Yang and becoming a puppet emperor. Yao Zun and Yang Guangwei are the supreme emperor. After the news came, Yang Guangyu arrived. I'm afraid it's hard to get out of the way. So he fell into the final madness, selecting beautiful women into the palace. Have fun all day. Lustful chaos. Drunk. Follow his minister. Most of the guards are from Guangzhou and the Central Plains, unwilling to live in Jiangnan for a long time. Seeing Yang Guang so decadent, dissatisfied, they elected the cultural collective as their leader, planned a mutiny. Soon, he rushed into Jiangdu Palace with culture and troops. Massacre of relatives of the imperial family in the palace. In the end, Emperor Yang Guang of Sui Yang was killed. 49 years old. Historically known as the Jiangdu Mutiny. After the news reached Luoyang, Wang Shigong made Yang Dong emperor, But then he killed him and made himself king. The Tang dynasty of Chang'an has a deep foundation, forcing Yang Yu to abdicate and become emperor. Establish the Tang dynasty, based in Guangzhong, wipe out all forces one by one. Finally unified the world with 6,824 AD. Then for Su Yang Dianggong, we also need to look at the bigger picture. His attacks and mistakes coexist, not because of his fault, and completely deny his attack.